Welcome to This Explainer. I am absolutely thrilled to have you here today. We're going to dive into a visually stunning piece of art and literally decode the spiritual vocabulary hidden right within its brushstrokes. If you love discovering how huge universal ideas are captured in visual form, well, you are in exactly the right place. But before we actually look at today's specific subject, I want you to consider a bit of a paradox. How do you paint the infinite stillness of the divine, right alongside the chaotic energy of the cosmos? It's kind of a massive paradox, isn't it? Because exploring how an artist captures both perfect stillness and wild chaos simultaneously is exactly what makes this upcoming analysis so fascinating. Section 1. The Devi's modern face, traditional iconography meets expressionism. Okay, let's just dive right into this. At first glance at this incredibly vibrant abstract portrait by Anupam Gupta, who also goes by the name Muchu, you immediately see this striking face surrounded by intense colors. But this piece, beautifully titled The Chromatic Soul of the Devi, is actually a profound map of divine consciousness. Every single brushstroke and color choice is doing some serious heavy lifting here. Now, what's really interesting about this concept overall is the seamless fusion taking place. We're looking at traditional Indian spiritual iconography, concepts that are literally thousands of years old, completely reimagined through bold, modern expressionist styles. It proves that ancient vocabulary doesn't have to look, well, ancient. It can be explosive, fresh, and deeply modern. Section 2. Colors of the Cosmos, the Duality of the Divine. Notice the thematic juxtaposition happening right across the face of the Devi here. On one side, we have this deep, almost midnight blue. Now, in spiritual art, this often represents cosmic infinity, the vast, silent void of space. And then, pushed right up against it on the other side, we have these incredibly vibrant reds, oranges, and warm yellows, representing dynamic, moving energy. Those red and orange hues aren't just there to look pretty. They specifically embody Shakti. Shakti is the primordial cosmic energy, the actual dynamic forces that move through and animate the entire universe. So by painting half the face in these fiery colors, the artist is grounding his aesthetic choices in some truly profound spiritual philosophy. The canvas is literally vibrating with creation. Section 3. Symbols of Spiritual Awakening, Decoding the Facial Geometry. So the crucial point here is that her facial geometry isn't just random. It actually consists of 3 distinct focal points: the bindi, the nath, and a distinct white line. Together, they create this geometric anchor that guides our understanding of the divine mind. Let's look at them one by one. First, draw your attention to the top center of the face. Right there between the eyebrows, we see the traditional bindi. Now, in the context of this painting, this simple red dot serves as a massive, powerful spiritual marker. It's the absolute apex of the facial map. This bindi represents the Ajna chakra. You might know it as the third eye, the center of intuition, the subconscious mind, and supreme spiritual insight. It is the very reason why the Devi's face, despite all the swirling, intense colors surrounding it, maintains such a profound internal focus and absolute stillness. She's looking inward, seeing the ultimate truth of the cosmos. Now, cast your eyes just a little below that, resting right on the side of the nose. Notice the brilliant, golden, sun-shaped nath, or nose ring. I absolutely love this detail because it adds a touch of deeply traditional, radiant Indian iconography directly onto this modern, almost abstract canvas. It brings a real cultural specificity to a totally universal theme. And this brilliantly illustrates our final facial symbol. Look really closely at the stark white line descending straight down the bridge of the nose. It physically divides the blue of infinity from the red of energy, sure, but more importantly, it visually connects the Ajna chakra at the top down through the center of the face. It perfectly represents the centered, deliberate path of higher consciousness. All right, so we've clearly established the deep serenity and geometric perfection of the Deva's face. But to truly understand this painting, we really have to ask, what happens beneath this profound stillness? Like, what lies at the literal base of this cosmic portrait? Section 4. Stillness meets chaotic energy, the base of the cosmos. Notice the bottom half of the artwork now. Gone are the smooth geometric planes of the face. Instead, we see these chaotic, thick, colorful energy lines. Whites, reds, blues, yellows, vigorously swirling, tangling, and dancing around. What's incredible is how this dense thicket of chaotic brushstrokes actually acts as a foundation, actively supporting the perfect stillness of the head above it. Let's see how this builds our overarching theme. The Davies face, that represents centered, serene consciousness. But the base represents unbridled, colorful Shakti. This visual contrast perfectly captures the thematic duality we discussed at the very beginning of the explainer. It's the unmoving, silent infinity of the divine mind, paired seamlessly with the wild, vibrating, messy energy of creation. Ultimately, Muchu hasn't just painted a pretty picture here. Actually, he has crafted a visual vocabulary that invites us to look way past a simple expressionist portrait. Because when you understand the blue of infinity, the red of Shakti, the geometry of the chakras, and the sheer chaos of the base, you realize you're looking at a holistic representation of the universe itself. It truly is a map of divine consciousness. As we wrap up our explainer today, take just a moment to reflect on this breathtaking fusion of chaos and peace that we've just unpacked. I mean, we all have that serene consciousness, and we all have that wild, messy, creative energy inside of us. Consider how those two forces balance within you. Thank you so much for joining me to explore this incredible piece of art. Keep learning, keep looking closer, and I'll see you in the next explainer.